Are you ready? Hagane no Moon Santo Rabbit Tank!
Hey guys, DCRS here, and before you jump into the duel replays, I'm just gonna explain some certain things of why I run certain amount of cards before you guys complain in the comments below. Or if you're just too lazy to read the description, which you should, read the description of my videos. It's just that I explain certain things of why I run certain cards or why I run a specific card in general. But yeah, so skill running is quick as a wind. The reason why is because this deck uses certain skills or certain life points. No, sorry, not life points. Attack boosting methods. So quick as a wind can be used if your life points are 3,000 or below. After your life points become 3,000 or below, you play the field spell Rising Air Current. If there's already a field spell on your side field, returns to your hand instead. So this one increases the wind monster's attack by 500, but decreases the defense by 400. So this helps boost up Yosenju monsters with their attack. And it's like a mini Ties of Binds, but it's like a field spell. So yeah. So Karma 2 is the main beat stick of the deck, but it also gives you an opportunity to attack directly. Karma 2 is really good in this deck, but we don't have Karma 1, sadly. So Karma 2, we have to max it out. So Karma 2 can attack directly and also whittle down your opponent's life points. The main goal of this deck is to either OTK aggressively, but not as good. It's the aggressive part of this deck isn't that good in terms of we don't have controllability, so we have to find a different way to actually maintain your opponent's field without Karma 1. So Karma 2 is the best choice for this deck. You have to run as a 3 of. You can run as a 2 of, but preferably I run as a 3 of because it allows you to do more damage and also it allows you to additional normal summon, because additional normal summon is very, very important in this deck. So yeah, it's that's the reason why I run as 3 of. Now Karma 3, you can actually run this as a 2 of or a 3 of. In this type of build I ran as a 2 of instead of a 3 of. The reason why is because you don't use number 3 as much unless you're running a pure version without the counter traps. So yeah, what Karma 3 does is if your other Yosenju monsters such as Karma 2 or Isna or whatever does damage to your opponent, battle damage I believe, you can search for a Yosenju card. So you can search for either Oyam or an Isna or even a Sujik, which is very, very important to how you plan out your moves later on. Isna is interesting. You can run this as a 1 to 2 of. I do not recommend this as a 3 of unless you're building a aggressive version, a very, very aggressive version like an OTK based deck, because you can run Isna in a, let me just bring it up. You can run it in the deck that utilizes Magat or Magat. If you utilizing Isna, so probably you're gonna base it around. This is just giving you an idea. You can run it with Oyam, Isna, and Magat. That's how you get into more OTK plays with like Hey Trunade or bouncing stuff to your hand. So yeah, there's plenty of ways to actually do stuff with this. And yeah, that's pretty much how I would explain if you're running Magat or Magat in this build. If you're running a pure version or a pure aggressive version with Isna and Magat or Oyam is used to defend your life points, but I'll explain that more later on. Sujik is your booster or honest of the deck or hand trap. So what it does is during your player's turn you can discard this card and make the attacking monster when it's battling a monster gains 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. So it's really good. Also you can, if it's on the field, you can target another Yosenju monster or one Yosenju monster in the field, and including yourself, and gain 1,000 attack on the end of the turn. So it boosts up Karma 2 to allow you to do more damage when you attack correct. So there's plenty of ways you can actually use Sujik. Sujik can run as more of a 2 to 3 of, but personally I do not recommend this a 3 of, more to 1 to 2 of. I've seen some builds that run 1 of this, but 2 I think is the correct number, because there are times where you actually do need the boost, but I can see that with Sujik that you prefer to draw your other Yosenju cards more than Sujik, but that's that's perfectly fine. But for me, I like to give more boosts and stuff, and also the second one does come in handy at times, as you've seen for my previous replays, and also this replay, these replays, which I'll show you in this video. Two OEMs. I don't recommend playing this as a free of, but it does come in handy at times. It's just that sending a Yosenju monster from your hand to graveyard does come at a bit of a cost. That's why I put as a 2 of, so you can draw your other cards instead of having this as a 3 of. Sure, it's good, but you can't discard itself if you were to use its effect. So personally, this is good as a 2 of, but not as a 3 of, in my personal opinion. You can run as a 3 of, or you can run as a 1 of, but if you run a skill like See You Later, I could see that being useful to abuse this card more often, but I don't like the skill See You Later because you preferably want this to be destroyed by battle so you can search for other stuff. So yeah, that's my personal opinion. I do not like this as a 1-off. It's too minimalistic. 3-off is too much, but you can run as a 3-off or a 1-off. That's up to you. That's just my personal opinion. Swords Thing is really good in terms of how you use its playability. So yeah, Swords Thing, you can only use it once per turn. So you have to be very careful on what you combo it off with. And yeah, there's plenty of ways to abuse this card. You can reel up to 2, so you can reel 1 or 2 of Yosenju monsters in your hand with different names and bounce them to your opponent's hand depending on what cards are face up. So there are plenty of ways you can actually try no DK with this as well. Drowning Mirror Force, it's kind of a no-brainer. Any deck that utilizes monsters or no monsters that you control, usually if it's a direct attack, you just use Mirror Force, Drowning Mirror Force. Any deck that uses a deck that uses no monsters on the field usually goes for Drowning Mirror Force or protection wise. You only see Drowning Mirror Force in certain decks that, well, it's more of a tech card, but in Yosenjus it's sort of very important if you are to run it. You can run as a 2 or 3 of in this build, but I had no room for the third one, and the deck's already cramped up as it is because I'm running the counter traps. This is my personal take on Yosenju counter build. I did see a different version on YouTube, and also I've checked different ways to run this build, like running at least 3 of certain counter traps or 2 of certain counter traps, but I just felt like 3 and 2 are probably the best ratio. I don't like this as a 3 of because I don't want to draw this as often as the other ones. Sure, you want to draw as with the Parshath, but usually you go with Isna to draw into your counter traps more often, or your other traps. So that's why I run more copies of Isna and to draw these more. So yeah, Parshath negates stuff and summons out the Synchro if you were to choose. Also with Providence, you can negate anything, so except spells, which you don't run spells in this deck. So if you were to run like let's say Training Grounds with Kodam, that's okay, but I just feel like Kodam and Training Grounds is okay. Here's the thing of what my personal opinion on this. So with Kodam and Training Grounds, it's good in terms of you get additional normal summon at the end when you tribute this, but if you're going second, Kodam is very vulnerable, and if you are running like Isna to protect it, that's good, but at the same time it's pretty bad because you need to open up this, and this, and you're down to like one other card in your hand, so you played 3 or 4 out of your cards from your hand, and that's really bad in terms of resource management. Personally, for me, I prefer using cards that you can actually use more of rather than 2 of, or 2 card combos, or rather 3 card combos. That is too much. You want to do as minimalistic as possible, so that's why I'm not running the Kodam build, because there's no reason why you want to use more resources, but you do get more monsters. You do get another monster in your hand from Training Grounds, so when you remove 3 counters, you can add a Yosenju card from your deck to your hand. So in a way, you can add like a Sword Sting or the Secret Move. But I believe Secret Move is not that good in terms of its playability, because you need at least one Yosenju card on the field that's face up, and also you have to have face up monsters that are Yosenju as well. and they all have to be Yosenju. So secret move only works in the pure build, but yeah, it's kind of situational with secret move. That's why I don't like it. That's why, if you've seen in my previous build that I decided not to run it, that's one reason why, because secret move is very situational, and the only ways you can actually abuse it properly is by searching with training grounds. I do not like hard drawing this card because I could preferably draw like drawing Drowning Mirror Force, your Sword Sing, or your Parshath, for example, in this build, or your other counter traps. There's other ways to actually abuse other cards rather than secret move. A secret move is just a harsh condition for abusing your plays. So yeah. As for other cards, we got Yosenju Worship. You need to control 3 or more Yosenju monsters. Sure, you get to add 5 cards from your deck to your hand, but you need to draw like multiples of these. And okay, here's the thing: if we get Karma 1, I definitely max out all these and run a Yosenju Worship, and also max out your back row. That's my opinion when we get Karma 1. But as of right now, or if you get lucky and you draw, or wait, you have to have all different names, right? Yeah. So if you get lucky and have one of each of these, or this one of Karma 2, one Karma 3, or the Sujik, or the Izna, you play this, and you draw as many monsters in your hand, and then you draw until you have 5. So you get a +2, but at the same time, well, it's more of a +1 rather than +2. But in a way, it's sort of, it's not worth it in the end, to be fair. And you're already wasting like 4 cards rather than 2 cards. So yeah, you need that. Pretty much you need 3 of them and this. So that's 4 cards in hand. That's all of your cards in your hand. That's very situational, and you only get like what, 1 or 2 extra draws. Actually, you get 2 extra draws. But it depends, because you might either draw another monster or you might draw a trap card, depending. So yeah, this is a very situational card, the word Wind Worship. That's why I don't like it. And its requirements are kind of hefty. With Yosenju Whirlwind, so let's see. Activate this card by paying extra life points. Okay, once per turn, if a face-up Yosenju monster control returns a hand, except during damage step, you can target 1 card your opponent controls, return it to hand. It's good for Compulse, but it's a once per turn type effect. And it targets. So against the current meta with Cocoitus, it's not that good. During your end phase, unless this card is activated, destroy this card. So yeah, it's there are so many situational based cards in Yosenjus that you can't exactly go too aggressive unless we have Karma 1. If we have Karma 1, then this deck can actually work pretty well. To be honest, I can actually change it around, so I can run like 1 Izna instead, or no, it keeps 2 Sujik. OEM probably keep it as a 2 of, because it's kind of needed in a way with Yosenju, so that if your back row gets removed like Hey Trunade, and that's pretty bad. But yeah, that's my opinion on Yosenju counters. I hope you guys enjoyed my mini discussion. Actually, how long was this discussion? Holy crap, it's over 13 minutes. That's actually more than what I would do in a discussion video. But yeah, hope you enjoyed the replays. See you guys next time. Bye.
Duel. Duel.